Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel at Bama Pigskin 205. Today we're going to be talking about Alabama's matchup this weekend. They're playing Eastern Illinois. For you people that don't know, this will be the first time that Alabama has played a non-conference team in Eastern Illinois. So there is no game history to go back and look at to see, what has happened, what hasn't happened. Alabama has never played Eastern Illinois, so just a little fun fact. But so the point spread, Alabama is over 57.5 points. Eastern Illinois is under 57.5 points. It's a 99.99% chance that Alabama will win this ball game. So I do want to go back and talk about last weekend's game against Oklahoma. Alabama has got to do a better job at ball security. Ty Simpson threw a pick six for 7. They scored 7 points on that one. And then Ryan ran one back and the ball got punched out and fumbled the ball. That ended up in a touchdown for 7 points. And then Ty Simpson got pressured and got tackled around the 28 and also fumbled the ball again, and they scored a field goal on that drive there. So they capitalized on all 3 turnovers. You have to give Oklahoma credit, and that is something that you can practice in practice, which is on defense, which is turnovers. We see it all the time. I see it, all teams all the time trying to gang tackle a player and punch the ball out. So it's nothing new. But I would say this weekend, considering that Alabama has an easier opponent to play, you can't look past them. Just cannot look past them. Ask Nick Saban. He'll tell you. You never look past them. Anyway, I think, though, this weekend would be a very good time for Alabama to really work on that run game. I think really throughout this whole game, that's what they need to do, is work on the running game. Now, us Bama fans, we knew when Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer came here, we knew that they were going to be a team that likes to throw, their coaches that like to throw the ball. So I think we have good running backs, but I think, honestly, if you look at the body of work, we rarely are running the ball. We're always throwing the ball, and that's what they like to do. They like to throw the ball. They don't, like running the ball that much. So I think that's where the problem lies. Is it's like anything else. The more you practice it, the better you get. So I'm sure they do practice. Some at practice running the ball. I'm pretty sure about that. But it's in-game experience is a big thing. Nick Saban, he firmly believed in running the ball, and he also threw it. But he always did both. Nick Saban was a defensive coach, and he always had a good defense. So, but that's a recipe to win. If you got a good defense, which Alabama has a good defense, I'd call this the trifecta. One leg of the trifecta is Alabama's having a defense. Alabama has that. The other is being able to throw the ball, and the other being able to run the ball. So those 3 legs of the defense help out a lot. Sorry, my battery is going low on my laptop, so it kind of dimmed my screen a little bit. But anyway, because sometimes, you need to be able to spread, but if you can run the ball a little bit, you obviously can open up the passing game, and vice versa. you throw it. You want to keep a defense on their toes. Not knowing what you're going to do or whatever. So yeah, I think Jam Miller's a really good running back. He's highly rated. He just hasn't had much playing time. I think he's ran the ball. I think in total he's got about most running backs at this time of the year at minimum have like 350 rushing yards, and he don't even have that. I think he's ran the ball 99 times all year long, but it's just not having that game experience. It's just if they ran the ball a decent amount, at least 25% of the time, in like every ball game that we played, then it would be a little bit better. But when you're just throwing somebody in there every once in a while, it's just not you're just not going to be as productive. I don't think So they definitely. Coming into these playoffs, I think Alabama is a very good team. I think they have what it takes to win. I know that they got we got a lot of blue chip players, 5-star, 4-star players. Like I said, we have a good defense. We have a good quarterback. We have good receivers. Our offensive line needs a little bit of work, especially protecting. Considering that we've been one-dimensional. So that's our bread and butter. They have really got to protect the quarterback. If you're a one-dimensional team, you're relying heavily on that quarterback, which that is what Alabama has done all year long. You have got to protect the quarterback. Because if you don't, then if you can't run the ball and all you can do is throw the ball, and you're not protecting the quarterback, you're not going to win many ball games that way. So, I think it's kind of shown up on the scoreboard. All the teams that we've played this year. Especially any teams that's ranked. We've only beaten them by a few points, and I think that's kind of a reflection of being one-dimensional. And not only that, but the very few times we do run the ball, it's always up the middle or it's jammed up. Yeah, sure, the offensive line can open it. Like, what happened to the jet sweeps, HB tosses and all that stuff? Shake it up, spread the defense out a little bit. Yeah, I think honestly, if I was a coach, first down, second down, I'd probably be running the ball. And a lot of time on third downs, when you need to convert, you usually throw it. But just depending on who the opponent is, it's always a good thing. Just start when you start. Especially in the first quarter of the game. I don't care who you played. I don't care if you're playing the number one team in the nation. The very first quarter, the first set of downs. Why not run the ball? You're at the beginning of the ball game. You're in the first quarter. Within the first few minutes of the game, that would be the time if you wanted to run the ball and see, what you can do on, with the running game. That would be the time to do it before you're, crunched for time and all that type of stuff. So I do think Alabama needs in practice, they need to. We know we can throw the ball. We know we have a good quarterback, but I think they need to work a little bit more on the running game. This game right here, honestly, I would run the ball. Maybe throw a few passes, but this game in particular, just to get a lot of in-game experience, Alabama this weekend needs to pound the ball. Alabama needs to play smash mouth football. This is the end of the story. That way, when we play Auburn, maybe, we can incorporate the run game a little bit more and, have a passing game. We got to really start working on this stuff. If we don't, we're going to be in trouble. But anyway, that's my preview. Like I said, they haven't really, like I said, Alabama hasn't played Eastern Illinois, so I don't know. There's nothing really to go by. So I won't say Alabama's going to pitch a shutout because we have a good defense. I'm going to say Alabama's going to pitch a shutout. And if it goes the way it needs to, we will see our other two quarterbacks play, and maybe some of our other second string players come in that game. I'm gonna call it. My prediction on the score is gonna be 49-0. Alabama pitches a shutout, and then we'll be heading on to play Auburn the week after next. If you haven't already, subscribe, sub up, smash that notification bell. That way you always informed when I'm loading a new video. Share this video and leave your comments in the bottom. Let me know what you think the final score will be. And having said that, y'all have a good one, and I will freaking see you later.